Good morning, Year 2. It's Fabulous Friday, last session of maths for today. Today we're going to be looking at solving word problems that involve measure. So this is going to encapsulate everything that you've learnt about measure so far, comparing measure, ordering measure, and measuring, but also thinking about your knowledge of addition and subtraction to help solve these word problems. Let's start by looking at the in focus task. Lulu wants to swim 50 meters. How far is she from the finishing line? Look carefully at the measurements you're given in the image and think about how far has Lulu already swam? Talk to your adult, discuss what your thinking is. How many different ways could you solve this problem? Pause the video to help. Now, looking at the Let's Learn, the best way to solve this problem is to use a bar model. And Year 2s, you've used lots of bar models throughout your education so far, particularly in Year 2. So try and think back to the beginning of the year where we used these lots in our learning. Let's look at the question again. Lulu wants to swim 50 meters. This is the distance she wants to swim. She's already swam 35 meters of those 50 meters. So we want to know this value, how far left she has to swim. So if we know Lulu's already swam 50 meters, we can take away the 35 meters that she's already swam to show us the difference. She's got another 15 meters to swim until she gets to the finishing line. Make sure you talk to your adult here about why it is easier to subtract to find the difference rather than count on. And for those adults who are doing this with their child, we talk about that subtraction is easier and quicker because the numbers of 35 and 50 are actually quite close. And the Year 2 children should be able to find the difference more easily because those numbers are closer. Now I'm going to do these guided practices with you today, but you're going to have a go at them first. So let's look at question 1. Emma buys 18 meters of red cloth and 15 meters of blue cloth. What is the total length of cloth that she can buy? Have a look at the bar model that you're given and the empty equation. And think about, first of all, should we add or subtract? Now talk to your adult and have a go at solving this. Pause the video before I reveal the answer. Okay, let's see what you did. So we know that Emma had already bought 18 meters of red cloth and another 15 meters of blue cloth. And if we look at the bar model, we can see that these two values are what we're trying to find out altogether, because we want to know what is the total length of cloth that she buys. So if you said that we need to add them together, you are correct. Now, using an efficient addition method, you should be Year 2s using the column method here. Okay, if you can't quite see the facts quickly to help you, this is what we would expect you to have done. 18 centimeters, add 15 centimeters. Okay, remembering how we present column addition. And the first thing we do is we start by adding the ones digits together. So 8 add 5. Well, I know that 8 add 2 more is 10. And then I've got 3 left over. So the answer is 13. I'm going to put my 3 from 13, which represents my ones in the ones column, and carry my 10 across. I can then add the tens units together. 10, 20, 30, 33. If we write that as an equation, we can say that 18 add 15 equals 33. So in answer to the question, we can say that Emma buys 33 meters of cloth altogether. Let's move on to question 2. Ruby has a ribbon that is 80 centimetres long. She cuts a piece that is 48 centimetres long to make a bow. What is the length of ribbon she has left? Okay, so talk to your adult. Think about, are you going to add or are you going to subtract? What equation could we write? And ultimately, how much ribbon does she have left? Think about that language to help you decide if it's add or subtract. Pause the video before I go through it with you. Okay, so looking at the bar model to help us understand and unpick the language of the word problem, we already know that Ruby's ribbon in total is 80 centimetres long. We know that she cuts a piece off that ribbon that is 48 centimetres long to make a bow. And we're trying to find out how much ribbon she has left. So yes, we are going to subtract. And I'm going to model this one exactly how it would be done at school. Now, first of all, we're going to write down the equation we're actually going to solve. So we know that she has 80 centimetres of ribbon. And we know she cuts off 48 centimetres, so it goes, it's being got rid of. So we're going to subtract 48 centimetres to find out how much is left. Now, thinking back to the beginning of year 2, you were taught how to do subtraction. And this subtraction is one of those tricky ones where you have to exchange and then rename. Okay, let's have a look. So we've got 80, take away 48. Now with subtraction, we always start by looking at the ones column and thinking about what we need to do first. Now my first step would be to have 0 take away 8. Now that's not possible because I've got nothing to start with. So we're going to exchange a 10 from the tens column. So that now becomes 7 tens. And we're going to rename that ones as a 10. So we've now got 10 take away 8, which of course we can do. The answer is 2. We can then look at our tens column and we've got a 7 which represents 70 take away 4, and remember that represents 40. So 70 take away 40 leaves us with 30. I don't write a 3 and a 0, I write a 3 to represent 3 tens, which is 30. So the answer is 32 centimetres. The length of ribbon left is 32 centimetres. Now if you've got some straws at home, you might want to make your own deans. If you keep your full length straws as your representations of 10 and cut up some other straws in equal pieces so there are 10 equal parts, you might want to make physically this type of column subtraction to help you, especially when you're exchanging and renaming. And I know that's what you did in class with Miss Pope and Mrs. Sweeney. Okay, some more questions for guided practice. Question 3. A toy clown is standing on a pair of stilts that are 35 centimetres high. The height of the clown when he is standing on the stilts is 99 centimetres. We want to know what is the height of the toy clown. Pause the video and have a go at answering this with your adult. Okay, so I've had a go at drawing you a bar model, but vertically this time, to see if that helps you answer the question. Again, we'd expect you to be using column subtraction for this one because this question doesn't require exchanging and renaming. So let's have a go together. Now we know that the complete height of the clown when he's standing on the stilts is 99 centimetres. So that's the biggest height he can reach. And we know that the height of the stilts are 35 centimetres. So we're going to subtract the total height. We're going to subtract the height of the stilts away from the total height in order to help us find out how tall the clown is. So we start with our ones column again. 9 take away 5 leaves us with 4. And then we can transfer to the tens column. 90 take away 30 is 60. But we don't write a 6 and a 0, we write a 6 because that 6 represents 6 tens, which is 60. So hopefully the answer you got was that the height of the toy clown is 64 centimetres. Last one. Question 4. A robot moves from the clock tower to the flag after passing the tree. How far does it travel? Pause the film and talk to your adult. Now this is a bit of a trick question because the robot could move quite easily from the clock tower to the flag and it would have meant he travelled 10 metres, but this is the trickier bit of the question. He has to move from the clock tower to the flag, but he has to pass the tree. So you should have been able to see that he needs to go up the road to the tree and then across to the flag. And we can see the distance from the clock tower to the tree is 6 metres, plus the distance from the tree to the flag, which is 8 metres. And for that calculation, we wouldn't expect you to use column addition. We'd expect you to use your knowledge of number facts and number bonds. We know that to get to 10 from 8, we need 2 more. So we'd take the 2 from the 6 to make 10, leaving us with 4 left over. He's travelled 14 metres. Okay, independent learning for the last time this week. Have a go at solving the 8 questions, which are all to do with word problems, so you might have some addition and some subtraction. I'll read through them and then I'll leave you to have a go at solving them on your own. Question 1. Rope A is 12 metres long. Rope B is 4 metres longer than rope A. So how long is rope B? Can you write it as a calculation and then answer as a sentence? Question 2. A lamp is 25 centimetres tall. A drinks can is 16 centimetres tall. What is the total height of the 2 objects? Are you going to add or subtract? What's the key word in that question to help you know whether it's adding or subtracting? Question 3. Elliot has 96 centimetres of string. He uses 49 centimetres of the string to tie a container. What is the length of string he has left? Question 4. Ruby leaves for her school, which is 80 metres from her house. After walking for some time, she has 26 metres more to go before arriving at her school. How far has Ruby walked so far? Question 5. A plant was 12 centimetres tall on day 1. A week later, it is 61 centimetres tall. How much taller has the plant grown? Question 6. After using 57 centimetres of ribbon, Holly has 36 centimetres of ribbon left. What was the length of ribbon she had at first? Question 7. An electrician cuts a long wire into 2 parts. The first part is 14 metres long and the second part is 29 metres long. How long was the wire before it was cut? And the last question today, question 8. The building is 45 metres tall. It is 38 metres taller than a lamppost. How tall is the lamppost? You might want to draw bar models to help you. Think about using your column subtraction, your column addition, or your knowledge of number facts to help you. For those of you who want to challenge yourself a little bit more, I've got 2 extra challenges today. Extra challenge 1. Here is a strip of orange paper. A blue strip is 4 times longer than an orange strip of paper. The strips are joined end to end. And altogether, It measures 50 centimetres. I want to know, how long is the orange strip of paper and how long is the blue strip? How are you going to write your answer down? How are you going to explain clearly how you work the answer out? And extra challenge 2. There are 3 teddies in a box. The brown teddy is 15 centimetres taller than the yellow teddy. The yellow teddy is 3 centimetres shorter than the pink teddy. The pink teddy is 42 centimetres tall. I want to know, how tall are the brown and yellow teddies? How much taller is the brown teddy than the pink teddy? You might want to draw for this challenge, draw pictures of those teddies, use a ruler to actually make them the size that is described in the clues to help you. Well done this week, Year 2. One more week of length next week, and then we'll be moving on to some new learning. Have a fabulous week.